Hello friend, you are most welcome to my channel. In this video we discuss some decimal expansion of number which, which one call as your rational or irrational number. Let's for beginning of this videos or begin the topic, let's we discuss some important thing is here. You see the number which are written in the form of p by q form in the fraction form or where q not equal to 0 and p and q are integers. The number which we can write in the form of p by q and q not equal to 0 and p and q are integer, this number called as your rational number. This number we are called as rational number, as we know that. In the same way, opposite of this one, the number which we can write in the form of p by q form, that number called as your irrational number. Irrational number. That number called as irrational number. Okay. In the fractional number, this number we are called as a rational or irrational number which are in the fraction form or not in fraction form we consider as rational or irrational number. Now how we can consider the number in the form of decimal expansion 3.146 or 2.33, like this decimal expansion. In this decimal expansion, how we consider numbers are rational or irrational number. This is our main topic in this video. We have to discuss it step by step. Let's begin it. Let's we move to the next step. Here you see carefully. Our topic is your real number and their decimal expansion. Here is a two division you see. This is the fraction 10 by 3 and 1 by 7. These are the division you see. Here is a division. These two cases of division you see. Here is division is not important. No need to here explain the division and solve the division in front of the camera. But here is the question is important. This is the question is important. We have to consider the question. But here one more thing we consider. Here you see in this both division there is a no n. Here is a remainder not comes 0. It is comes again and again. Some remainders is remain always. Here is no remainder 0. Remainder always comes some number because here is the after decimal. Here is the numbers are repeated again and again. Here is the this fractions division you see question you see. Here is the 3.33. It means after decimal 3 is repeated again and again. Here is a single digit 3 is repeated again. Means 3.3 bar means 3 is repeated continuously. It is not ending, not terminating. In the same way, here you see in this division 1 by 7. Here is the block of numbers are repeated. On completing this one block, then again same block is repeated again. Here is the blocks of numbers are repeated again and again. Here is the remainder is not 0. Here is remainder is not 0 in both the cases. This is the things we have seen in the both the cases of this division of the fraction 10 by 3 and 1 by 7. Like this decimal expansion, these are this one and this one, like this decimal expansion called as non-terminating, means not ending, repeating, continuous, repeating or recurring decimal expansion. Like this both decimal expansion called as here non-terminating, repeating, recurring decimal expansion. If your decimal expansion is your non-terminating, repeating, recurring decimal expansion, these are considered as your rational number or we call as a rational number. If your decimal expansion is non-terminating, non-repeating decimal expansion, that is means it is rational number. That one we consider as rational number. I hope you understand. These are the both cases. Let's we move to the next. Now this division you see 7 by 8. Here is the question you see. Here is a question and here is a remainder is 0. Here is the remainder came. Means here is the questions are terminated. 0.875 after 3 digit here question is terminated. Question is finished. Means like this decimal expansion we call as terminating decimal expansion because our question are terminated and remainders came 0. Like this decimal expansion we call as terminating decimal expansion. If terminating decimal expansion also a rational number. In the rational number in the both cases we seen if your decimal expansion is non-terminating, repeating or recurring decimal expansion also a rational number and terminating decimal expansion also a rational number. I hope you understand in the both the cases we consider as call as a rational number. Now let's we move to the next. Let's see carefully. This the decimal expansion you see the value of root 2 and value of pi. Here the decimal expansion. After decimal you see numbers are repeated. Numbers are repeated but not same numbers are repeated. But numbers are change and come and repeated. But same number or block of number are not repeated. Just like earlier cases like you see before that here is the block of numbers are repeated, here is a single digit are repeated but here is a terminated. But this case you see here is the single digit repeated, block of numbers are repeated but here is no block of number or no single digit are repeated. Means always changes and coming. Like this decimal expansions are your first thing, it is not terminated also, not repeated also, not same numbers are repeated. Means it is called as your non-terminating non-recurring decimal expansion. Like this decimal expansion called as your non-terminating non-recurring decimal expansion. Like this decimal expansion is called as your irrational number. Like this decimal expansion called as irrational number. This is the different cases of decimal expansion and their consideration of rational or irrational numbers. Lastly, now come for the conclusion. Let's here our conclusion is that for rational number there is a two cases is here. First should be terminating decimal expansion. Next your non-terminating repeating or recurring decimal expansion. Terminating decimal expansion means this is the terminating decimal expansion and this is non-terminating recurring decimal expansion. Then for irrational number non-terminating non-recurring decimal expansion your call as a irrational number. For rational number terminating decimal expansion or non-terminating repeating or recurring decimal expansion. For irrational number your non-terminating non-recurring decimal expansion mean this one. Okay, I hope in this video you understand, you get the conclusion what type of decimal expansion called as your rational number, what type of decimal expansion called as irrational number. Lastly of this video I requested, please dear friend, if anything doubts, anything you have to say for further improvement from my side, please comments in this video. I always thankful for your comments. Lastly, thanks for watching this video. Thank you and have a nice day.